Okay, so the next topic today, which we are going to discuss, right? So today we are in project cycle. We are going to see about data exploration. Okay, so what is data exploration and why it is important and next is how to represent data in a graphical format. Okay, so these are the main things which we are going to look into today. So what is data exploration, why data exploration is important, and how to represent data in a graphical format. So okay, yeah, let's jump into our topic for today. So if you see, so why we need to do exploration. So first thing, we have understood the problem, and after understanding the problem we have acquired all the required data. After acquiring all the required data, we are doing the cleansing part, right? So this part where we are going to explore about the data, then only we are going to understand the ups and downs of our data. So first, when we are going to look at the data, we see many missing values or many null values, and we are going to get back to the stakeholder to collect the correct information. Else, like if there are any mapping tables, we are going to map with that. Else, number 3, we can get it from other resources like internet or other information, and like that we are going to cleanse the data, okay, to remove the null values, the missing values, and we are going to clean in a very good format. Okay, the raw data, now it is cleansed data. Okay, so that one process has been done now. So the raw data has been transformed into a cleansed data. So once you cleansed the data, so what happens next? So once you clean the data, after that you will try to understand the patterns. Okay, when you try to read the data, of course it is very difficult. When there are just 10 to 20 rows, we will try to understand, but what happens when there are millions and billions of rows? Okay, so that is where we need to represent the data. Data has to be represented in a graphical format. Okay, so once we represent data in a graphical format, we analyze the patterns and trends. So this is very important. We analyze the patterns and trends, and once we analyze the patterns and trends, next what happens? So this is a very useful information. So many companies are trying to acquire many data analysts. Okay, so this is the main job role of the data analyst. They get the raw data, they cleanse it, and after cleansing it, they try to represent the data in a graphical format. So once they try to represent it in a graphical format, they will be able to read the data, understand the data. Okay, what is happening behind the scene? They will try to understand the data. Once they understand the data, they will be able to draw conclusions. Okay, so that is the next process. We will be able to draw conclusions. And so this will give us a very good insight, and this helps us to draw conclusion, very good insights. Okay, so so this is where the companies can rely on you on a factual data. So everyone rely on factual data, right? So everyone likes to understand what is happening in the back end. So for that, they need some data analysts who can clean the raw data. So everywhere the data is always not clean, so it requires a huge amount of effort by each and every one of us, and where we try to clean the data. Once the data is cleaned, we try to represent it in a graphical format. So once we represent it in a graphical format, we will be able to analyze the patterns and trends. Why in this month the sales has gone low, for example, I'm telling. So when a company like Amazon has hundreds and billions of sales happening every month, and when they wanted to analyze for a particular category where every month they are getting loss, they will try to analyze why this month the sales has gone low. Why this month it can be due to a different reason. Maybe the discount has been stopped, the discount which they were giving previously has been stopped, because of that the sales has gone low. So they will be able to come to a conclusion, so they will try to make a decision like, okay, we will try continue to give the discount for that product, so we can try to increase the sales for that particular product. So like that insightful decision can be brought out of this raw data. So this is what the companies nowadays are trying to do, and this is where more data analysts and more data engineers are, and data scientists, they are required. So CBSE has given a structured way so that they are inculcating the upcoming generation in order to bridge the gap between the school education and the industry level of experience which they need. So once you students start to understand these type of things which is happening in the industry, this is what the exact thing which is happening in industry. When you are trying to leverage this kind of knowledge in the school, it will be very beneficial for you to build a very strong career in the future. Okay, so next if we see, so this is what the cycle it goes on one by one. Okay, so next, how to represent data graphically. Okay, now we have the raw data, we have cleansed it. How we are going to represent, that is a third step, right? I told how to represent the data in a graphical way. How to represent the data in a graphical way. So there are like different formats available. Okay, so like a bar graph, pie chart, line chart, box plot, scatter plot. There are like multiple graphs that are available. There are many tools. Okay, so for example, I can tell you some tools, like in Microsoft we have Power BI, and we have a ClickSense tool, and we have a Tableau tool. These are all like a data analyzing tool. What they do, they try to connect to a database and they try to pull the data, and basic cleansing is done in the data modeling. And once the data modeling part is done, the analyst will try to analyze the data in the front end, and they will try to present it to the business stakeholders who can draw some meaningful insights out of the raw data. So yeah, let us see. So I have picked few examples I want to show, use for some, even though there are like many charts, I cannot cover everything, but yeah, sure, for 9th grade it is very important to look into some charts in detail. Okay, so yeah, I'll go to data viz catalog. Okay, so this URL I will ping you in the description, so there we'll go. So if you go to this, I'll remove this. So if you go to this, right, so if you go to this, this is how it looks. Okay, so in a grid view, if you see, these are like many types of charts are there. Again, if you can see, there are like many types of charts. When you are free in your free time, you can just go through one by one. I'll try to explain for today's session. We can get into some type of charts. Okay, so if I pick up bar chart, this is how a bar chart looks. Okay, so it has a 2-dimension chart. Okay, like one is X and one is Y. Okay, so this is the X, this is the X, this is the X, and this is the Y. Okay, so if you see why it is also very important for the students to understand which chart to use for which type of data. Okay, so we cannot use for example, if I want to show the sales for category A and B. Okay, so it is there in this. I'll pick up here. If you see, yeah, if you see this right, so bar graph can be represented both in vertical as well as horizontal wise. So here if you see, there are two categories. So I want to see the sales happened for two category A and B for the month of for the month of like for the year of 2025. Okay, so category A has 3.5 billion sales, and category B has 3.5 billion sales, A has 6 billion sales. Okay, so this shows in a graphical format. So like that, which type of chart we have to pick for which type of data, that is very, very important. Okay, because some charts will not be suitable for some type of data, so that you will try to pick up on as as you try to work on these kind of things, right? So everything cannot be taught in a one single day, or anything cannot be learnt in a one single day, or in one single video, right? So it will take time. So you will have to get used to these types of chart, then you will try to understand what the chart is meaning, how can you draw conclusion, then you will try to decide yourself, okay, for this type of data I can use this type of chart. Okay, that type of decisions, it is your personal choice, because you are picking it up, you know why and where and when you have to pick up. And if I use this chart, what type of conclusion will I get, how can I convince the stakeholder, like they are getting the desired results. So all this is happening behind. So keeping this in your mind, you will try to pick up the most relevant chart. So I'm trying to tell is, on the way you go, you will try to pick up. So that is what I wanted to mean. So yeah, so if you see in this video, right, so there are like two dimensions. So this is dimension 1 and this is dimension 2, okay, x and y. Okay, so here if you see there are like different sales for before I told for 2 category, but here it is for different categories, I can say. So by using bar chart we can show, and in bar chart itself if you see, there are different types of charts. In bar chart itself we have histogram, like this multi-set bar chart. So inside a category B, if there are subcategories, how can we represent that? And against 2 categories, like a butterfly chart, if something is negative and positive, so like that we can try to represent. And a stacked bar chart, okay, so everything in one single bar, and the width of the bar will tell you how much is there. Okay, like that these are different types of bar charts which is available. Okay, so next I will move on to bubble. So there are many types of charts are available. Yeah, I pick line graph. So in this line graph, what we see, so in this line graph, so if I want to compare for 3 different companies, okay, let us take for 3 different companies. So company A be blue, company B be this orange, and red be C. Okay, how the companies are performing over the years. Okay, company A is performing high, more than B and C, and C is performing very low. So these type of conclusions we can get over the years. So this will give a conclusion like how can company C be become top place, how can it increase the sales. So like these kind of representations we can conclusions we can make by using these bar charts, line charts. So that is what I have written here. So first, raw data we clean it, and the data can be represented in a graphical format, and we try to analyze the patterns and trends. So this is the 4th stage. We try to analyze the patterns and trends. Once we analyze the patterns and trends, as I told you, we can draw conclusions based on these are the factual data, right? So we can show about this factual data and we can draw conclusions. So these conclusions are nothing but very valuable insights for the company and organization. Company and organization are looking for valuable good insights. So how they can increase the revenue. So that is how they can save the cost, increase the revenue. So you have to understand in back end how companies wants to make more profit. Like in these many ways, when we try to analyze the data and when we try to reduce the cost, right? So you become a valuable resource for your company. Yeah. So that is why we should have that good tendency to learn these technologies. Okay, and I have used in my career, like I have used these many types of charts like pie chart, bar chart, scatter plot, bubble chart, like this. So and I want to explain about, I see here timeline diagram, right? Yeah, in one of my project I have used timeline diagram. So over the years, what happens in each and every year. So it depends on tools, what tool we are using. Some tools may have these functionalities and features. Some tools may not have these types of features, right? So you try to go through this database catalog. I'll ping in the description. It is very useful actually, and I'll show you what a Sankey diagram is. Okay, so Sankey diagram is like the flow. It gives you the flow and the magnitude. Okay, it gives you the flow and the magnitude. So for example, I take, this is a heat energy. Okay, so this heat energy is getting transmitted from position A to B. So if you see that electrical energy has 100 joules of energy, so the light energy is transferred just 10 joules. So if you see the arrow mark widthness is very thin, it becomes thin because it just represents 10 joules, and this heat energy, it has 90 joules of energy. So this width is very big, if you see. So this shows the magnitude. So like that, if we want to represent both the flow along with the magnitude, we will be able to represent. So these are just visual representation. No need to just go in and understand it. Just by seeing, we will be able to conclude, okay, this is where my all my expenses going, this is where I have to do the saving. Like that, different type of conclusions we will be able to get. So this is one I wanted to tell. And next is tree diagram. So the tree diagram, where it can be used is, like if you take any organization, right? So it will start from CEO, and CEO, under him he will be having many reportees, right? So his reportees will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, 10 reportees are there. So this type of hierarchical diagram, so for that type we can use this type of tree diagram, which is just a graphical representation. We will know, okay, this person is reporting under this person. Like that, we will be able to describe. So in schools, so our headmaster comes on the top. Under the headmasters, how many teachers are there, and each teacher is responsible for which sections, and in each sections how many students are there. So like that, we can try to from the top level hierarchy, with the bottom level we will try to reach, and we will know how many level of hierarchy and how the data is being classified until how much level of data we have, right? So this is why we always try to analyze the data in a more different way. So yeah, in today's video I wanted to cover about this. So I hope I have covered about how to I hope you all have a good understanding, like how to explore data and why it is important, and how to represent it in a graphical format. Yeah, okay, yeah, see you in the next video.